This video will show you how to make a representation on the local plan update. When reading through the local plan update, you will see that there are a number of chapters on the right hand side, and you can pop into those chapters and review the policies and paragraphs. You may want to make a representation on a specific policy, and you can do that by pressing the Make a Representation button on the right hand side. You can press this button wherever you are, no matter what chapter you're in, you can press that button and you will then be brought to the representation form. It first recognizes here that you may have already made a representation and you have the option to go back in and edit one, even if it's already submitted. And you have the option to add a new representation. So I'm going to press the Add a New Representation here. So it brings me to the first of two pages of the representation form. This first page asks me to give an overall title to my representation. So making a comment on the local plan update. It then reminds me who I'm making a representation as. So it shows me my name and address as registered on the portal. And I have the option using this blue pencil to edit any details if I need to. And I can then click this to store changes on my profile, and any changes I have made will then change the registered details that I have on the portal. I'm asked then to respond to a question here, and it's mandatory. You will not be able to go further without responding to this question. So I'm going to click I'm responding as an individual. I'm then reminded of the data protection agreement here if I want to read through that. And then I press Start. By pressing Start, it brings me to the second page of the representation form where I make my actual comment or comments. There is a page tour on the representation form and I can click that up here. It automatically will appear the very first time you make a representation, the page tour will appear. Any subsequent time you would have to click it here if you want guidance on how to use the representation form. You will first select from this document, chapter and policy section here. You will go over to the drop down and select what document, chapter or policy you're making a comment on. There's a further drop down arrow here for the local plan update. And you will see then what chapters within that you can comment on. And then within those chapters, there are further documents. So for example, I'm going to comment on the CLC climate change. Once I select that, I then have the option, or I must choose the policy, figure or paragraph number that my comment relates to. So I'm going to choose, and you will find those options by simply clicking on that field and the number of the policy numbers will appear, or paragraph numbers. So 5.5 I'm going to make a comment on. I'm then asked, do I support, object, or am I making a comment? And I'm making a comment, and I'm going to add my comment here. You can also then upload any attachments that support your comment or demonstrate what point you're trying to make. You can add any attachments there. And then you would add this to your representation. You would press this green Add to Representation button. And your comment is in here. And I can have the option now to add a further comment. So I'll press the green Add Further Comment and select a different area of the local plan update that I want to comment on. So I'll choose from the policies within the Delivering the Spatial Strategy, policy SBS1, and then within that policy, I'm going to choose paragraph 6.7. I'm then asked again whether I support, object, or I'm making a comment, and I'm going to say I support. And then I'll add my comment here. I can upload any materials if I want that support my comment, and I can add this to the representation. I could also simply move to save and review if I have no more comments to make. Once I press save and review, I'm brought to this page where I can review the comments that I have made under which chapter. So I can see under CLC1 I've made a comment, and under the policy SPS1. I will now click the Submit Now button, but I also have the option to exit and continue later. And I could maybe wait a few days and want to view other people's comments that come in over the next few days, and then add perhaps to my representation. Now I'm going to submit it. And I will see that I am given the unique reference number here, and I've been told that it has been sent in a confirmation email to me. I can also at any point go up here to my profile on the far right hand corner of the page, and under representations I can see what representations I have made on what different consultations. And if there was one in draft, I would see it here as well, and it would say draft, and I would be able to go in and edit it and then submit it. So that's how you make a representation on the local plan update.